Hello and welcome to Gouldian Junction. This is going to be part 2 of December's layout update and what I've been working on this month. I have finally gotten back around to my storage yard, my small little yard I'm going to build here where I can park some locomotives. It's 4 tracks. I started this a while back. I think I put it in one of my updates, I'm not too sure. I used gyps or plaster molding for it and just mixed it up. It was a powder form and I mixed it up and with water and poured it in there and let it set. And then I have carved the track area where the wheels go. So I have like carved it bit by bit over and over again. I put Hornby buffer stops at the end there. I put the red lamps in it, exactly the same like it was on Everwood Junction, the way he did it. I put little red bulbs in there. If I turn them on, I'm not too sure if the camera picks up on them. Yeah, maybe it just picks up on them. I'll give you a quick shot in the dark. So, as you can see them in the dark as well. So, working. I have 4 there, and I have one more that's here as well, which is also working at the moment. This section here, I'm gonna ballast it. This section here, I'm just gonna replace one of the points here. It's a Hornby point, and I don't like the Hornby points too much. They work, but it's an old one. It's over the years, it's lost its one of the sides here, and it's kind of got loose, so I need to replace that one there. So that's my next step. I'm going to replace that one. I'm going to do it in the next coming week, replace it, and then I'm going to ballast the whole section. I'm going to put side pointed motors here. I'm going to use the ones from DCC Concept, the new mini ones that they have. I'm going to try them out and see how they go. Yeah, it's just a quick short update for December, what I'm doing, and I'll show you my progress as I work along with it. At the moment I have painted it. So I painted it last night. Now I'm letting the paint dry, and today I'm gonna clean the rails up and test the train again in there, make sure it all works. Yeah, I'll leave you there and I'll be back in a minute. So, welcome back. I just quickly gave the tracks a clean in between where the rails are. I cleaned it with my track rubber to get the paint off it. Also quickly gave it a clean with some track cleaning fluid as well from Dapel. Yeah, so I'm just gonna test it. I'm gonna test it with my class 24 just to test to see how it all goes. Yeah, I've lost power on the first one there. Probably need just a tiny bit more of a clean to get the paint off it. I test the second track. Yeah, as you can see, that was much better, that one. I'll test the third track and then I'll test the final one. I do a lot of my testing with the Class 24 as it has the actual most dirtiest wheels on it. They get dirty pretty quick, the Class 24 wheels does. So I'm always cleaning them. So that's why I test it with this one, as it's the most sensitive terrain. I test the last track. Yeah, it's pretty good. So as you can see, it all seems to be working nearly. Just the last track there. It works sometimes and it doesn't work. It probably needs, like I said, more cleaning along there somewhere. It must be a small bit of paint or something on there. Yeah, as you can see, that time it actually worked. So maybe it was a bit of dirt on the wheel. So I'll leave that there for now. That's what I've been up to. I've scratched a little bit of the paint off as I was cleaning the truck, so I just got to give it a bit of a touch up. I used black and white paint, making a grey asphalt looking colour. I just mixed two paints that I've got from my actual local hobby shop here. It's just, it says hobby luck, it means paint in Swedish. So yeah, I got two of them. I got the matte one. So black matte and white matte, and then I just mixed a bit together in an actual little tray. As you can see, I mixed some black, mixed some white. Got the consistency of the grey colour I kind of wanted to. I can kind of give it a bit of a sand to get it more light and a bit more worn and stuff, and then I'm gonna put yellow lines next to the track, and then I'm gonna also put I'm gonna put some yard lights in eventually. I'm gonna put like a retaining wall along the back section to separate where the corner of the track is, so you won't actually see the corner there. It's gonna go under a town scene from roughly where the signal box is there, which is sitting on the tracks. Roughly there where them points are, I'm gonna put like a wall. I'm not too sure if you can actually see the red pen I've drawn on the actual baseboard. I've drawn up like the plans, so here you might be able to see some red ink. I'm not too sure. Just next to the pole there, it's going to be a piece of wood that goes there, and then a piece that goes along the back. I'll put in the corner there, it's going to be like some landfill area with some like scatter grass and turf and some wheels and maybe some rails and a bit of loose stuff that would be laying around in the yard. My plan is to put a signal box here. I'm thinking, I'm not 100% sure on this one. It's just a cheap Hornby one that I had for years, and the size is pretty good on it, but the detailing isn't the best. So I may paint it or do something with it yet. I see how I feel on it, whether I paint it or whether I buy another one or maybe make my own one eventually, to put in that area there. Then I got a little relay box there, you see. So the plan is I'm going to put like a girder bridge across here with town scene in the corner here. More of a city scene, should I say, than a town scene. Yeah, so, but that's still a while away before I get to that point. Now I'm just fixing the yard here. So this is my project for Christmas. I'm gonna work on it during December. From, you know, beginning of December I've started, and I'm gonna work on it until the end of December and see where I am. I try to do a project each month on the layout. See how far I get each month. Excuse me. How far I can get from each month on the layout. Each month I do, like last month I did all the wiring for the point motors. This month I'm going to do the yard. So I'm going to show you how I do my lines on the yard here. I take tape. It's low tack tape it is. But I found it was still a little bit too sticky to stick to the paint. And this paint's been dried now for like over 24 hours. But it hasn't really soaked into the actual plaster underneath it. So I thought, shit, you know, I ripped it all up the first one after spray painting it. And the tape ripped up the grey tape and the grey paint, sorry. And I was like, I had to repaint it all again. So this time around, I just took a little bit of tape here on the ends and just lightly tacked it down. And then I get my airbrush and just paint it. So I make the lines roughly, these first two lines, I made them a little bit too thick, but I can live with it. But these other ones, I made a little bit smaller. So, as you can see, the line's painted. As you can see, the line is much more thinner than the first two I painted. I might fix them up later if I feel like it, or I might just leave them. I see how I feel. So, I just did that, continued to do it. It's quite simple. I made it about 1 centimetre, the line, away from the track, as that's roughly where the train edge is. And in reality, the train, you wouldn't put the line underneath the train where it's parked. So I put it as close to the edge as possible. And like I said, I just made a line, made it roughly to the thickness I want it with the tape, and then just airbrushed it. So very simple, very fast. It's pretty simple. It's not so bright. The first two are very bright. The last four I did, they weren't so bright as the first two. But like I said, I might touch them up later. I see how I feel. But yeah, it's very simple, very easy, very fast. Makes a big difference with the effect. So this one here, it's kind of overlapped a little bit, but I might just give it a bit of a touch up with a bit of paint there just to clean up the corners. But yeah, as you can see, it's looking quite good. I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, it wouldn't be absolutely perfect in the real life. Of course, the lines would probably be consistent. But then again, it could indicate that they were painted at different times. But anyway, that's how I do it. Thanks for watching. So the next part of my yard that I've done is weathered the middle part of the track. I use some brown paint that I use. It's a bit more like a sleeper grime looking colour. It's a bit more like a mix between like rusty browny colour. Well, not too sure how much it shows up, but yeah, you can see it. I'm just going to put a little bit of black in some areas where to represent oil spill. So I use my airbrush to do this. I use the same technique. I put the black in an area where roughly where the trains would most likely be parked, to represent oil spill coming off the engine and motor and other parts. So, alright. So, as you can see, it's more or less finished. I put some paint down in this section here with paintbrush just to represent some more oil spill, a little bit more thicker. Just to give it some different consistency to it. plan is to get the baseboard in the corner here for the town scene or slash city scene. I want to put a retaining wall in at the back here, put a bit of a area here in the corner where it's going to be a little bit messy with a little bit of shrubs and wheels and whatever else you'd find laying around in the yard. And then I'm going to plan is put like a girder bridge across with a retaining wall on the other side there where that metal spike thing is. My plan is to get this done over Christmas, over the holiday season. I also want to get this area here ballast coming into the yard, and also on the left side of the yard. And also I want to get the point work here sorted out, and I also want to get this main section coming into the station ballast as well. That's the plan. So I'll finish it off for December. So I'm going to leave you there with it. I want to say thanks to all my subscribers. Slowly climbing up. I think I had 8 the other day when I checked. I want to say a big thanks to them all. And hopefully in 2018 I can get a few more. And they'll follow us throughout this progress. And I want to say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to everyone. So I might try and make a running session over Christmas for everyone to watch and enjoy. I see how much time I have to do that, whether I can get the trains out and run them. At the moment they're all parked in the fiddle yards underneath the baseboards. There's only 1 or 2 on the actual top. So now that I've got the actual control panel organised there, which I think I have to upload the final video on. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching and goodbye.